the Pioneer viewers, we continue to bring you the latest news and developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. As you know, the war continues. And as the war files the days of its third year, the hot conflicts environment is still preserved. The states have characteristic political stances, and in the historical process, they pursue policies in accordance with these stances. So a state's reason and collective memory makes it necessary. The biggest war that Europe has seen since the Second World War is currently taking place in Ukraine. As steps are being taken to end the Russian occupation of Ukraine, the US and European countries are trying to finance Ukraine's war, and the efforts to support Ukraine have put the Ukrainian army in a strong position. The Ukrainian army has become one of the strongest in Europe in the terms of combat experience and influences. So while all this is going on one hand, interesting developments are taking place in Russia. And the Ukrainian army, which is waging a strong struggle against the Russian army, is wearing down the Russian army. The news that emerged in the past few days revealed that besides Ukraine, different NATO countries are also involved in the process against Russia. Throughout the war, Russia has been on the agenda with its practices violating international law, and the Moscow administration, which has been behaving against the functioning of the international system, does not think about the consequences. Russia, which is the middle of a very dangerous process, does not learn from the economic and social embargoes it has been subjected to. And Russia's political and social isolation is weakening Moscow's leadership, and the news of successive failures on the front line is also causing tense days in the Kremlin. And the Kremlin administration is trying to utilize the opportunities at its disposal, but the Russian politics does not inspire confidence in anyone, especially Russians. So Ukrainian army units thwarted a major Russian offensives the other day. And after the successful intervention, the Ukrainian front has survived at great danger. Another shocking development also occurred in Poland. Now, if you're ready, let's examine the latest developments together. But as the Pioneer, we continue to bring you the latest developments on Russia-Ukraine war, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. I also read all of your comments on our videos, but please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments and tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. So let's start if you're ready, the Pioneer Reports. A shocking announcement was made by the Polish RSZ Operation Command the other day. According to the post published by the Polish authorities, a Russian Federation plane was captured by the Polish armed forces the other day. On May 6, 2024, a MiG-22 mission pair from the 29th Tactical Air Base in Malbork intercepted and visually identified a Russian Federation aircraft. The fighters intercepted and Second 20 Illusion aircraft that took off from the airfield in Krovelets Oblast and continued its flight international airspace over the Baltic Sea, performing a reconnaissance mission without violating Polish territorial waters. So, the operational command also says that the latest interceptions was the second time in less than a week that the same Russian aircraft was intercepted by the Polish armed forces. The same aircraft was also intercepted on May 3, 2024 by an F-3 F-16 missions pair from the 36th Tactical Air Base in Krasny. So, the protection of Polish airspace is the basis of our country's security. Thanks to the efficient work of ground personnel and air crews, we can be sure that we are protected against threats in the air, said the officials. The use of Illusion Second 20M technology dates back to the Cold War, and the vehicle is used for electronic and communication intelligence. It was first observed by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in 1978 and made its first flight in 1968. The Second 20M is equipped with electronic intelligence equipment. Japanese warplanes were scrambled twice last week against a Russian military aircraft conducting suspicious reconnaissance activities, and Japan's defense ministry said. One of these aircraft was reportedly a Russian Air Force Second 20M intelligence gathering aircraft, and the Russian ministry said its aircraft two Tu-95 strategic missile carriers and carried out a scheduled flight near the west coast of the US state. So during part of the flight, the two missiles carriers were escorted by the Russian Su-30 jets and fighter jets from other countries, the ministry reported. So as the examples show, Russia is not changing its aggressive behavior and it continues to harasses other countries in the region. If this situation is evaluated under security concerns, it could lead to a dangerous outcome for Moscow. So it is possible to see that the world is heading towards its great danger, especially in recent years due to the increasing conflicts and depleting resources. In such a period, Russia is something that every state would like to be have. But the Ukrainian army continues its struggle against Russia, and the Ukrainian army, which successfully responded to the counterattacks of the Russian army, also fulfills its defense. In the intense Russian offensives that took place the other day, the Ukrainian defense showed an incredible performance. And the Ukrainian Defense Ministry said that the Russian targeted Lviv, Venezia, Kiev, Poltava, Ivano-Frankivsky, and Kronovohord and Zaporizhia regions. Air defense systems shot down 39 of the 55 Russian missiles, and these included 33 Kh-101 cruise missiles, 4 Caliber cruise missiles, and 2 Kh-59-69 cruise missiles, as well as 20 Iranian-made Shahed kamikaze drones. The missile barrage has hammered the country's gasoline production as Kiev continues to launch drone strikes against the Russian oil infrastructure. Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Olha Stefanishyna said in March that Russian oil refineries had become legitimate military targets for Ukraine. So the Ukrainian military has been trying to draw Russia away from the war by launching attacks on the Russian strategic points. At this point, the Russian army is struggling to replenish its own resources, and as the Russian economy is also going through hard times, investments in military expenditures draws public reactions. It is very difficult to establish management and organization in these times of the war, and therefore leaders need to act cautiously and courageously. Our observation shows that the war processes has produced positive results for Ukraine, and the main curiosity is about the involvement of the other countries in the war and the consequences of NATO in the region. It remains to be seen whether the Russian-Ukrainian war, which has attracted the attention of the entire world, will affect the other countries in Europe. But now it's your turn. What do you think about the captured Russian planes? Do you think the Ukrainian army has improved its defense style throughout the war? And what do you think about the attitude of NATO countries towards the war? Last one, do you think there are tense days in Moscow? You know that we care about your opinion, so please share it with us.